Sure. Hi guys! Welcome back to our channel. This is Ephraim and you're watching Planting with F and Grace. Ito na naman ang inyong hardinerong kapitbahay nagsasabing, tara, usap tayo. Hi guys! Welcome back to our channel. This is Ephraim and you're watching Planting with F and Grace. Malalaking dahon, magandang klase ng halaman at inain ngayon. Ito ang tinatawag nating mga indoor trees. One of those examples of indoor trees na pinagkakaguluhan ngayon ang tinatawag nating Ficus Elastica or tinatawag din natin itong burgundy. Okay? This particular plant, marami siyang tawag. We have the rubber fig, we have the rubber plant, we have the rubber tree, rubber bush, Indian rubber tree, Indian rubber bush, burgundy rubber tree. This elastica or Ficus elastica is a native in many parts of eastern South Asia as well as in Southeast Asia. Kaya nga sa Pilipinas, marami ang nag-aalaga nito kasi maganda yung kanyang climate or weather para sa pag-aalaga ng ganitong klase ng halaman. Well, if you're going to put this one sa ibang mga lugar na mayroong winter season, so they have to keep it inside their house. Okay? So, this particular Ficus plant is quite popular to most of the gardeners kasi naging eye-catcher sila nung paggamit nito bilang isa sa mga house plant. Okay? This plant is known for its prolific fleshy burgundy leaves like this one. Okay? Yan. In terms of the size and growth of this particular cultivars, the burgundy colored leaves are large, about 8 to 12 inches long and around 4 inches wide. Like for example, this particular leaves. Ang haba niya, halos pumapatak siya ng 8 inches to 12 inches. At yung kanyang spread, yung kanyang wide, is almost 4 inches wide. So, in temperate and tropical climates, the tree can reach up to 40 feet high. Ganun siya kataas. Pero, it should be planted sa ground. Okay? Pero kung naman i-keep natin siya as an indoor trees, you could reach up to 4 inches to 6 inches feet. And you have to cut it short. Okay? And that is very important for this particular plant. Next one. The plant itself or the Ficus elastica has its own flower pero hindi siya masyadong significant or hindi siya masyadong known sa atin. Well, that particular flower needs a pollinator, the fig wasps. And that's in order for them to reproduce seeds para sa panibagong rubber plant. So, they attract them, this particular fluorescence produce insignificant small ovoid plant with that is called to be cycones. Cycones are not very fragrant and have a greenish yellow blue hue. Okay? It appears in pairs in axils. So ibig sabihin sa mga dulo, dun lumalabas yung ating cycones sa ating Ficus rubber tree. So, in terms of the temperature and light requirements of this plant, this is the ideal temperature for this plant is 18 degrees Celsius during the nighttime and 27 degrees Celsius during the daytime. That's why sa mga countries na mayroong winter season, hindi siya swak o hindi siya pwedeng i-stay sa labas ng kanilang bahay. This plant requires bright indirect light. Pero as you can see, this is also related doon kung gaano karaming bright light ang kanya nakukuha. Pag kinip natin to sa loob ng ating bahay, make sure na malapit siya sa ating mga windows. Kasi pag ito ay nailagay sa medyo dim part of our house, the tendency of this particular plant is nawawala yung kanyang burgundy color. And ayaw naman natin mangyari yon. That's why I recommend you na ilagay natin siya near the windows or yung mayroon tayong makikitang filtered bright light. Now, in terms of the water requirement, hindi naman kailangan natin ng masyadong maraming tubig dito. It's just enough na pag nakita natin na medyo dry up na yung ating soil, so kailangan natin siyang lagyan ng water. Pero dapat hindi magkakaroon ng clogging or hindi maiipon yung kanyang tubig. Because naturally, this particular plant do not hate water actually. Hindi naman ganun ka-hate pero hindi siya ganun ka-dependent sa tubig. The reason behind that is because this plant produces their own saps. And saps, of course, as you all know, is composed primarily of water. Okay. So, if you want to provide now nourishment for this particular plant, mahalaga na during the growth season of this plant, lagyan natin siya ng water-soluble fertilizer. Well, I will not recommend you about yung mga tatawag nating slow release fertilizer kasi kailangan fast growing nga siya, so kailangan niya ng mas maraming nutrients during the time of its growth. So, to produce an optimal growth for this plant, lagyan natin sparingly ng ating mga water-soluble nutrient material. Okay. So, again, the soil mix that is actually needed by this plant is a fast-draining soil with excellent aeration. Now, you may be asking, bakit naman may bato? Okay, the reason behind that is, I just placed the stone here just to prohibit yung pagka totally dry up ng kanyang soil. Okay, just to cover up. Kasi pag yan ay bare, the tendency of that one is ma-dry up lahat automatically yung ating soil. And aside from that, mabilis ang tinatawag nating erosion from its base. Okay? So, basta ang importante lang naman dito, the plant should have a good drainage condition. So, kasama na rin dyan ang pagpili ng ating pots. The pots should have a clear area, yung mga holes, yung mga pot holes, kailangan walang nakaharang sa kanya. Okay? So, in terms of the repotting for this plant, kailangan natin siyang repot yearly. Okay? At dapat mas malaking pot ang ating ginagamit kung tayo ay magre-repot ng another burgundy annually. Okay? Well, this plant actually, nung aming binili siya, hanggang dito pa lamang doon sa kanyang area. Yung sa mismong kawayan, sa bamboo. Well, up to now, medyo nadagdagan na siya. And take note, itong kanyang pagproduce ng kanyang dahon. Sabi sa akin, based on our observation, this particular leaves, yung pinaka-shoots niya dito, lumiliit siya as it grow. Tapos nagkakaroon siya ng pagbagal ng paglaki pag ito ay maliit na. Okay? For this time, that's just based on our observation. So, by this time, I think this particular plant will produce another leaves para siya ay lumaki ulit. Okay? So, the best thing for this one, para ma-increase natin ang aeration at saka yung kanyang draining, pagka-porous o pagka-drain ng water, is kung lalagyan natin ng partly rocks doon sa ilalim ng kanyang roots. And let the roots holds that particular area kung saan nandun yung ating mga rocks. Okay? Yung ating mga rocks. Okay. Now, what are the recommended material for this one? So, we have to mix 2 parts peat moss, 1 part potting mix, and 1 part sand. So, medyo kailangan niya ng medyo buhaghag na klase ng soil. Okay? So, next, in terms of the growing and maintenance, we have to prune this one. Especially kung ang desired lang naman natin ay hindi masyadong mataas na klase ng puno. Kung ito ay ilalagay natin sa indoor. Kasi baka hindi na siya maganda pag nag-touch na yung ating dulo ng ating plant sa kisame. Okay? So, in that case, we have to cut yung pinaka center niya. Okay? Yung pinaka taas niya. Okay? Yung topmost part of our plant. Para ma-maintain naman natin yung kanyang height. Pero, if you want to grow it more higher at ilabas na natin siya, at i-transplant natin siya sa ating garden, walang problema doon. Now, in terms of the maintenance, ito kasing klase ng dahon na meron tayo sa isang Ficus Elastica ay nangongolekta ng mga dust particles. Kaya, consistent dapat tayo sa paglilinis at pagpupunas ng ating mga dahon. Okay? Kasi, this texture of this Ficus Elastica leaves definitely collects dust easily. Okay. So in terms of the propagation, sabi nga natin kanina, may presence tayo ng bulaklak. But the most renowned or yung pinakakilalang paraan para mag-propagate tayo ng isang Ficus Elastica is through stem cutting. So that is just simple. When you cut the stem of the Ficus Elastica, you just need to air dry the cut area until such time na medyo mawala na yung tumuyo na yung area na kung saan nag-cut kayo. Okay? In that way, you might be able to press yung pinakadulo at maiwasan natin ang infections. Okay? Doon sa or root rot na tinatawag na cause ng ating mga fungi. By the way, this rubber plant, of course, we all know, is uses yung pinaka sap latex niya as a source of yung tinatawag nating rubber. Kaya sa tinawag na rubber tree. So, another thing here is, once you cut that particular plant, after a day ng aerations or ng air drying, sa pwede nyo na siyang ilagay or itanim sa isang soil mixture or sa isang pot. Now, what is now the requirements? The ideal temperature for you para mag-strive or medyo makarecover yung ating propagated stem is 21 degrees up to 24 degrees Celsius. Yun ang kailangan natin i-maintain in order for that particular cuttings to grow and produces their leaves. Okay? So, Ficus Elastica, syempre meron din siyang tinatawag ng mga pests and diseases. Well, take note that overwatering will introduce root rot. That is basic. Lahat halos siguro ng halaman, pag overwater siya, it produces primarily root rot. Well, some of the pests that this particular plant could occur with is yung tinatawag nating mealybugs, scales, at saka spider mites. Kung nakakita kayo ng indication na meron tayo na itong mga bagay na to, you have to really treat them with neem oil. Or, better yet, kung medyo tayo ay kulang sa budget, gumamit tayo ng soap solutions. Okay? Para matanggal agad yung ating mga pests. Okay. Toxic for pests? Yes. The white latex sap could cause irritants to pets' skin. So, pwede siya magdulot ng irritation sa skin. And another one is, pag na-ingest, magkakaroon ng problema in terms of the internal or yung ingestion. So, pwede mag-cause ng diarrhea at saka vomiting din also. Okay? So, that's why you have to keep this plant away from your pets as well as from your children. So, I think that's all, folks. You're watching Planting with F and Grace. Please watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to look for our page, si Maria Gracia at ang Lihim na din for a very cheap price plan. So, see you next time. Bye!